Yo, Kingdom, community vibes, community ties. Terrance Tucker is the brother who's connecting the tribe.
Boom, we back in the building, and I see again that you're upset with me. Yep, I see you upset with me because it's been so long, and you see the king next to me, man. Yeah, I know a lot of y'all people gonna be upset because I keep bringing on my bulldogs. I keep bringing my bulldogs on. I keep highlighting. I can't help it.
Bulldog tenacity.
Bulldog Nation, okay? Like he said, Bulldog tenacity, stand up. Listen.
Believe that.
Now, I got my guy, my brother, man. Y'all know him. Okay, but if you don't know him, you're gonna love him as soon as this interview is over. I promise you. My guy George Buggs III in the building.
All right.
Representing all the way from
Edgefield, South Carolina.
Edgefield. Now some people gonna say Johnston, but I'm gonna say Edgefield, South Carolina. Stand up, man. Strong Thurman High School, man. Stand up. We out here in the building, man. We got my guy on the show, man. We're about to have a good time, man, because he's been doing some phenomenal work, man, and it's about time that, we linked up, man, and we just had the opportunity to highlight this gentleman because he's worthy of it. I promise you. He has been helping, his community and the Charlotte, North Carolina community for a long time, and we're going to get to that. But before we go any further, let's pay two quick bills, okay? Number one, if you woke up this morning, give God all the praise. Give him all the praise because he is able. He's worthy to be praised, man. We have people dying every single day. So if you was able to just take a deep breath, you're blessed. I promise you. You are blessed, man, and make sure that you enjoy your life because it's short. All right. Number two, we're in Charlotte, North Carolina, man. All right. We're in the QC, Q-Weezy. Okay. We out here, man. Listen, man. Salute to Johnson C. Smith University, man. Okay.
Yes.
HBCU, stand up.
JC. That's
okay. Now you see my shirt real quick. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man. Salute to my line brother, Brett Young, who wore number 17 for South Carolina State University. Yes, we are highlighting the greats, all right? One of the best quarterbacks in the world, in my opinion. Yeah, that's my brother. Yeah, I said it. Nah, that's my LB. You want to fight me? Okay.
That's some good words.
Okay, you heard me. Now, let's get to this king right here, man. Listen, stand up on your feet right now and give my boy a standing ovation, Mr. George Buggs III, man.
Yeah.
I got you in the building, man. What's up, man? I appreciate you, man, for coming on the show.
Hey, man.
It's been a minute. He's had me come to, Johnson C. Smith, man, several times, man, to come help out, you know what I'm saying, and speak some life into his students. Now, you heard me say his students. Wow. So, why am I saying his students? All right, let's find out. My brother, what's your title at Johnson C. Smith? Because I can't say it.
Yeah. So I'm an assistant director with the Biddle Institute, Tuck. That program specializes in transitioning freshman students from the high school to the higher education environment.
Okay.
Most of our students come from a low income poverty background, so they need a little push, a little extra help sometimes to get them across that hurdle. So that's what we do each and every day, man. Been doing it for the past 5 years in Charlotte.
Now, before you got to Charlotte, you chose. Now you're from Strong Thurman High School. You went to Strong Thurman High School.
Yes, sir.
And when you left Strong Thurman High School, you went to the best HBCU in the world, in the land. Why South Carolina State University?
Man, I'll be honest with you, man. So, South Carolina State, man, my pops took me up there a few times. As a lesson, man, I really enjoyed the environment, really enjoyed the people. But in high school, man, in all honesty, I knew very little about that next phase of life, man. After high school, man, I was just so focused on being a senior. The guidance was poor within the school, and You know, the parents do all they can to support you, but as far as having those in-depth conversations, I had very few of them. So both of my sisters went to school, and I knew I didn't want to stay around. So I applied to South Carolina State, man. It was the only school that I knew. And by the grace of God, you know, it provided a way for a young king. So that's why I just salute that institution so much, man, and the people there, man. Orangeburg was good to me. Yeah.
See? We change lives out here.
Absolutely,
We
man.
change lives, okay? We create kings, man. All right?
Salute,
Don't get
man.
me started.
Talk
Now,
all day about that.
I talk all day about that. Now, talk about, man, you know, when you got your degree, you know, from South Carolina State, how did it prep you for where you're at now?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, man, because it's such a transition, man, when you look back on everything that you've been through, because college was not an easy ride for your boy, man. As I mentioned, I had no guidance going in, so I was unclear of the path. So when you're unclear, you don't really know where you're going. You know, you get misguided at times.
Talk to him.
But man,
What's your title up there, bro?
I'm the assistant director with the Biddle Institute at John C. Smith University.
Okay.
That's a freshman program. We help high school students transition from high school to that freshman environment.
Okay.
And many of our students come from that low income poverty area, man, so they need a little extra help, a little extra push and guidance.
Right.
So we put certain resources in place to make sure that first year is successful.
Okay.
Therefore we can proceed to the rest of that journey, my man.
Okay. So coming from a HBCU, one of the best
Yes,
HBCUs there is, man, how did it prep you, man, for your next step, man? You know, for that transition.
As I mentioned, man, I had little guidance in high school, man, and college is where I ended up, honestly, man. So I went in unclear where I want to go, what I want to do, and honestly, man, kind of who I was. So being at HBCU, around your peers, around people that look like you, around people who seem like they care for you and have your best interests at heart,
Right.
you know, they there for you even when you might not be there for yourself, even when you really just don't got a clue sometimes, man.
Right.
Life can be so challenging, especially for a young king trying to find himself. And when you got people to look up to, you got good role models, and you just got guidance, just people who care, you know, it helps you develop an empathetic side and just a want to do better, not only for yourself, but those around you. So someone open the gate for you, so you make sure you leave the door open behind you when you walk through.
Talk to him, man. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all better get y'all notebooks out, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, my boy dropping jewels out here, man. Listen, so when you came to the big city, man, Charlotte, North Carolina, man, stand up, okay? And then you signed that contract, man, to work with one of the best HBCUs there is, man, Johnson C. Smith, man. Go Bulls, man. Go Bulls, man. Stand up. Why Johnson C. Smith, bro?
Man, you know, Johnson C. Smith is the only HBCU in Charlotte. I came from HBCU out of Columbia. I was working at Benedict.
BC stand up.
BC stand up, man. That was my really first exposure to the higher education, but I liked what I was doing.
Okay.
I just wanted to do it on a bigger scale. And Johnson C. Smith is a smaller school, but you know, Charlotte provide more resources. I just feel like I can reach more people, and it was just time for a change, man. So Johnson C. Smith, they opened their doors up to me, man. And while I was there, you know, I found out there was so much I didn't know.
Fact.
Not only about what I was doing, but just as a young professional, man. So again, it's like another HBCU family, man.
Right.
But not only am I a student now,
Right.
I'm a student professional. So I'm
Right.
learning how to just be a better professional, a better me. I had more role models I can look into, more
Right.
people willing to provide a game for me.
Right.
So I just, you know, I took it and ran with it.
Okay. So, you know, with your title, man, you help so many young men out here, right? That come from backgrounds like yourself. Now, you came from a small town, right? Small city, man, small town. Do you run into many young men like that?
Yeah, man, all the time, man.
What's your advice to them?
So, man, be open-minded to everything.
Right.
You know, when you come from a small town, it's not really a lot to do, not really a lot to give you opportunities to, you know, exploit your creative side.
Right.
You know, now in return, that forces us to be creative. But
Right.
when you break outside of that bubble in which you've been exposed to growing up, and you have so many things outside, it can be intimidating. But yet you can still have that curiosity to learn. So my advice to all of them, man, you may think you know yourself, but you got absolutely no clue how far you can go. So just explore all the opportunities, man. HBCUs, where you are, explore all the resources. You know, maintain relationships, build your character, build your integrity, you know, make sure people can believe in what you're saying, and then just continue to do things that can help build your value.
Right.
Because, you know, the more valuable you are as a resource, you know, become an asset to others. So coming from those small towns, man, sometimes you can get content, and that's just for a poor choice of words, but content with who you are and you just want to live. But I always encourage the young kings and queens, you know, that's just a story for where you come from. You got so far to go, so continue to grow, continue to explore, and continue to just grow that imagination.
My boy, man. Hey, you heard it, man. You heard it. My boy George Buggs III is out here, man, representing, man, helping his community. Now, we know that you're helping, you know, the Charlotte, North Carolina, man. You know, this community loves you, right? Loves you. But
I hope so.
There's one community that loves you more than anybody, right? That's the Edgefield community.
Ah, man, major salute to the home team, man.
Let's talk about that community one time, man. Why do you love giving back to that community right there, bro?
As I mentioned, man, just leaving the door open, man, behind you, man. Edgefield really, that's where I developed my love for people. You know what I'm saying? I value relationships and just people over everything. And you know, back home, you had no restaurants to really go out and eat. So many a time, you know, you eating at home or someone else's house is, you know, the cooking inside of the kitchen.
Right.
You know, those dinner table conversations.
Right.
Man. And I just saw how much more a relationship could help someone than anything monetary or tangible, man. I just seen how a decent person could change someone's life. And you know, growing up in that small town, growing up in any small town, it's all about relationships and the people. And it's so easily to get distracted or somewhat get in a rut or get stuck because the resources are limited. And when your resources and your exposure is limited, sometimes they put a cap on that imagination, on that creativity, and you know, just on that ambition. So, you know, when you know more, you do better. You know, when you know better, you do better. So, just giving them opportunities and just insight to what's out there and what's possible. You know what I mean? What's possible, and you can get there no matter where you come from. I don't care how small of a town you can get there. You can be explosive because there's some great people out of Edgefield.
Tough words, right?
Great things, man. So, indeed, man, I just want them young kings and queens to know anything's possible, man.
Hey, man, you dropping them, man. You dropping them jewels, and you've helped so many young men, man, come out. You know, let's say that community, man, because why? Because you have been their guiding light. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, man, a lot of times you don't know what you can be when you don't see it sometimes, right? And you see this guy making it, man, right? You see where he's from, and you see who he's trying to help and give back to, right? Because he believes in paying it forward. Now you hosted, man, this event, man, a couple years ago. That was at Strong Thurman High School, man, right? Let's talk about that event, bro.
Indeed, man. So I've been, in my experience with engaging students, man, you know, you gotta meet them where they are.
I got you.
What I mean? So the best way to get their attention and get them in a place to where you know they're gonna be. So I'm gonna meet you there, and that's at school. You gotta go to school. So, you know, I've been trying to get to Strong Thurman for a while, and I was able to get in contact with a good colleague of mine, man. He runs their career and technology center. So, you know, a lot of schools don't have those trades in there. I took all three: mechanics, welding, and carpentry. But a lot of those schools don't have. Unfortunately, man, we still able to have some of those fields in our schools. So he opened up his doors to us, and I was able to get you a couple more young kings and queens that I graduated with or just within the area, man. And my whole goal of that was, again, man, just show those young kings and queens what's possible. You know, give them different faces to look at. I always understood that when you see a face up there over and over again, sometimes it's like a parent. You know what I'm saying? What they saying sounds like, or it's not nagging you. So if you hear it from a different voice, saying you seen this young king, you'll talk. You know, you somebody that you can't. You somebody that you gonna recognize in the room. You know what I'm saying? You was a big fella. So you know, you see this guy come up and you telling your story and giving your testimony. Then most of them can relate. So I'm purposeful with who I bring on to certain things, man. So you know, you gotta meet the audience. So those young kings and queens can relate. So it was an opportunity for them to learn from others, to learn from those who've been down the same path as them, you know, explore their opportunities, you know, take you a break from school and just have somebody take down the time and have a real conversation with you just about life. Because as a young adolescent, man, you know, those decisions, and you're not thinking that far ahead, you know what I'm saying? You thinking maybe possibly the trends, you know, you're being an adolescent.
Right.
But every now and then you gotta have somebody just have those conversations and just motivate the thinking. You understand? Because if you don't instill it, like you gotta instill the seed. Right. Sometimes the seed's not there, and then others will grow. The more conversations they hear of those, you know, it's continuing to water that seed. And then the more to water that seed, the more they'll be willing to water that seed. So it's again just about that exposure. Just tricking their mind to let them know, hey, you know, it's a time to get grown every now and then, because growth is coming whether you want it or not.
Facts, man. Hey, my boy, man, listen, man. My boy is dropping some huge, man, jewels, man. Listen. So I hope you guys, man, you're really paying close attention, because listen, man, Buggs III, I ain't playing no games with y'all, man. Third generation, man. Listen, man, third generation of king, man. All right, listen, man. Before we wrap up, all right, man, let me ask you this right quick. How has this pandemic, man, how has this brought you some heartache, man?
Man, mainly, man, just taking me away from what I enjoy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I like the inside, but I'm a people person. I'm an interactive person.
Yeah.
And it's taking me away from just that. People, it's taking me away from my students. It's
Do you
taking
miss
away,
your students?
Definitely, man.
Got you.
You know, I'm only doing I ain't gonna say the boring part, but it's the boring part, the paperwork part, you know.
Right.
I'm still interacting with them, the Zoom, but it's just that, you know, that one-on-one time, that face-to-face is not the same, man. It's just, and you see sometimes the challenges they face because of the pandemic, and your extension of resources is not as it would be. Right. So it's an adjustment. It's an adjustment for us all. You know, nobody was expecting this, but
you made it happen.
We gonna make it happen, man.
We still gonna get to him. Listen, man, we still gonna make it happen, man, because you can't keep a good man down. Never, man. Because listen, man, we've been through way too much. All right, so we gonna rise. All right, listen. Before we let this kid go, man, before we let him go, we gotta ask him the magic man question, man. The magic community vibes question, the most important question in the world. All right, you ready for this, bro?
I believe so.
You sure you ready? All right, listen. You eat chicken wings.
Absolutely.
You eat chicken wings, right? Y'all boys eat chicken wings? Eat chicken wings. You eat chicken wings. All right. When it comes to chicken wings, my guy, what do you prefer, flats or drums?
Oh man, I'm being honest with you, I had no preference.
Okay, all right, you safe. You safe.
I'm being honest with you.
You safe with that. You safe with that. We'll give him a round of applause. My guy, listen. My guy gonna, man, listen, man. My guy gonna run for doggone mayor one day, man. Cause that was so political just now, man. Okay, he ain't trying to pick sides. It's all good. So listen, man. How can my followers, man? How can they follow you, man?
Indeed, man. So you can follow my movement. I got something coming up, man. It's for young professionals and adolescents. It's to increase engagement and just lifelong learning.
Facts.
And that's exactly what it stated, man. So it's _ I'm still learning. Follow my page. We specialize in divergent learning through different platforms, videography to address social injustice, and also motivated messages to encourage others and direct their learning toward growth. And that's I'm Still Learning on Instagram. I'm Still Learning on Facebook as well as Twitter. Also my YouTube page. Make sure you check us out. And yeah, man, indeed.
But there it is, y'all. Listen, the vibes, man. We are so happy. Listen, man, South Carolina, man, stand up, man. South Carolina State, stand up, man. You got two guys, man, who love their state, man, who love the community, and that's why we're on the community vibes, man. All right, so make sure that you like and subscribe, all right, because we got more to come. All right, and make sure you follow my guy, okay?
Indeed.
Because if you don't, man, we're gonna see you out there in the streets.
You don't want to see that. I see y'all next homecoming, boy.
All right, I see y'all next homecoming, man. 2021. There will be, let's say, a spring season though. There will be a spring season.
I'm thinking about a spring coming.
So we gonna come and show out and show up. All right?
Believe that.
You know what I mean? Did I say that backwards?
It don't matter.
It don't matter, man. Listen, man. Salute, man. Take care, y'all. God bless.
Kingdom, community vibes. community ties. Terrance Tucker is the brother who's connecting the tribe. You say you won't shine, come get your shine on. You say you want vibes, come get your vibe on. Community vibes, community ties. Terrance Tucker is the brother who's connecting the tribe. Hey, you say you won't shine, we'll get your shine on. You say you want vibes, we'll get your vibe on. But there's no better time to get your grind on.